Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Tuesday, October the 3rd. The year's 2023. Let's talk trading. Trading stories we tell ourselves. Wick zones. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. So we've been talking about stories, and Walmall just got off the phone with me. He had some things to do, so that's why he's not here right now. But H4 wick zones. Normally I talk about the daily wick zones, but I also like to trade the H4 wick zone, because usually I get up about 4 o'clock my time, and that's a halfway through the H4 wick zone, and then at 6 o'clock it starts a new H4. And so what we can see here is the new H4 at 6. Now the wick zone is from the previous H4 candle, and as you can see here, price entered the wick zone, popped out a bit on the top side, popped out a bit on the bottom side, and then it ran up. Then the news came out and it ran all the way down into the lower wick zone, and it came out here almost to the bottom of the wick zone, but then it came back out, hit the upper wick zone, came back down, hit the lower wick zone, and is coming back out. That's a story we tell ourselves. And as you can see here, there are some areas where you may have taken a loss, where if you weren't quick enough right here, and it would have sucked you down almost 30 pips, 20 some pips. So, and right here, if you would have exited long, if you would have ridden it, you would have actually had a chance to get out the second time. But if you would have entered here, you better taken your 1 pip really quick. But these are stories we tell ourselves. You know, candle color at the line. You know, maybe you don't like the M1. Well, you can switch over and use M5. But you can see here, that would have been a nice trade to the upside. Here to the downside, you would not have received a signal because you would have been going against the candle color. But then again, maybe you like to use M30. And right here, clear signal, but that was news. And then here, there would not have been a trade. So since when I trade, I'm just usually looking to grab a couple of quick pips. So that's why I like using M1, taking that candle color. And right now we've got a break to the upside. See, 1.3, 1.1 pips. And you see how fast it takes it away. That's just that herky-jerky move that the pound's been doing, not giving a clear signal. You can see here, we just tested that high, got pushed back. Now we're coming to the other side. And if you're wondering, you can see the current H4 right here. We broke out, but we've come right back down towards that wick zone. Now, just so you know, you can see here, there's a missed pivot right in here somewhere, and I believe there's a missed pivot somewhere here. No, there's one here, and I think there's one up here. So for those of you, but that's a different story, the H4 missed pivots. So right now you can see, if you had the intestinal fortitude, also known as guts, to hang in that trade, I believe I saw 4.7 before it pulled back. And that's why I always say, you know, take those pips before the market takes it back. And what happened earlier, right before the video, I had gone long. Where did I go long? Somewhere open 64. No, I think it was this candle right here. Yeah. It opened at 60. I went long somewhere around 63, I believe it was. And it gave me a chance to get a pip, but it was a blink of an eye trade. And I got stuck, and then it ran. I punched out at 65, and then it ran all the way up to 88. It was just, but it's one of those things, you know. I was happy to get out with a profit, and I'd rather be mad with the profit than mad with the loss. And you can see right here, we're trying this 86 line. You know, you had a chance to take a quick pip before it took it back. There we go again. Sometimes you have to wait, give the candle a chance to actually expand to a range. And what I mean by that is, let's see, the range here on the M1 now is 5.9 pips. Hey, wow, there was an outside bar. I like those outside bar trades. It would have been worth 3 pips at the moment. There you go, 5.8 or 9. And I've noticed on these outside bars, you can usually, if you can have the stomach to wait it out, because there's going to be a lot of movement back and forth, usually on that first candle that you're in. But you can see here, usually you can get 5 or more pips off of these outside bar trades, especially if you're trading off of a 3-level ZZ. So right there, there's an outside bar trade. But, you know, today's topic is the H4 Wick zone, or Wick zones. You could use any of the Wick zones. So you can see here, we can switch. I'm using the TRO HL5 free to download indicator. And let's see, we want to use, instead of the, we can put it back to the day. And you can see here, that was the bottom. And there was the top of the candle there. And if we switch it back to M1, once again, you can see that price action. Very small wick zone. Only about, what, 1.2 pips. But they're just horizontal lines, and you just take the trade, candle color at the line. Try not to be too greedy. And, you know, once again, 1, 2, 3 in a row, look for a reversal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. So right here, you might have looked for a reversal, but you didn't have your signal. But here, you had a signal, 1, 2 in a row. You take that third one. Don't push your luck. And that's a story we tell ourselves, you know. Start to look for a reversal, buzzer reversal. After 3 consecutive candles of one color, look for a reversal. Well, look what happened here. 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6. And sometimes you'll get these runs of, you know, 2 or 3 in a row. And sometimes you get a flip-flop, flip-flop, flip. That's almost a flip-flop. And you can see here we're coming right back to that level. So I want to put this back to H4. So we can see once again, you know, this price action here. And so had you could take in a short here, that would have been worth at least 10 pips, a long worth 10 pips. And then another short, let's see, that's 86. We had a low of 76, so that would have been worth 10. So there's 30 pips right here to be had you know, if you can wait it out. And I noticed one thing. What'll happen to me is I get in that trade, and then even though it didn't inflect on me, but it only gave me a split second, and I wasn't quick enough to exit that trade, and so then it went against me. Well, a lot of times you can almost pick any point on the chart if it goes against you, and then it's almost going to go for you. It's like a seesaw, so down and up. But you can't always rely on that, and that's just the story we tell ourselves. So here we have, once again, we have 3 bear candles in a row. It came near that zone. If you had been short, you could take the money off the table. In fact, probably shouldn't have been in a trade if you were trading this, because we didn't have our trigger. And this is one of those trades where you have to wait for your signal, which is candle color at the line. So right here, candle color at the line, candle color at the line. We haven't hit the line yet. So you have to wait. And now it looks like we're going to have, nope, we touched it. We didn't break it. We literally touched it. 73.1, 73.1. Curious about something. Nope, we didn't even have M5 would have been red or bearish at that line also. But sometimes you could take the gamble if you want to, because that would have been 4 in a row, and the chances aren't that good. You're going to get some, but not that many, because here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you would have taken that trade, there was 2 pips to be had. But we might get a second opportunity here. Problem, though, is you start to tell yourself these other stories. And that's what I mentioned. If you're telling yourself all these different stories, then you're going to be getting in trades from different methods, and then you're not going to have very consistent results. And you might even get away with it a time or two. I mean, so for example, we just crossed the 75 line. And that's a psychological trade, but that's not a Wick zone trade. So it's like, am I trading Wick zones? Am I trading psychologicals? Am I trading both? Am I trading neither? You just have to be careful, because it's easy to get away with it once or twice, but then what happens when it doesn't work out? Well, hopefully you have your stop loss in place so it doesn't hurt you too bad. But I really do like trading these H4 Wick zones, and then knowing where the open of the current candle is. And then basically you trade away from the open, because the open is usually the close of the previous candle. So you were exiting out of the Wick zone into that candle body. And so you can see here with your eye, we are ranging. So, fellow traders, I don't know if any of you like trading the H4 Wick zone or not. There's just horizontal lines, and pretty much all horizontal line trades are the same. Candle color at the line. You might use some other indicators as confirmation, like indicator 2. You could use the MA200 or MA50 or MA20 for confirmation of which direction to trade. But remember, none of that matters, really, because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.